sure you've seen the movie with Julie Andrews. You know, are you influenced by what she does in the movie, or do you bring in your own thing into the role?
Definitely, I'm influenced by her. It's hard not to be, and I do try to bring my own flavour to it. A lot of people come to see, an essence of Julie Andrews, so I can't necessarily rob them of that. They want to see something that they know, so I try to give as much of myself as I can, along with staying true to the role that she made so famous.
So what elements of the Julie Andrews character do you want to put in?
Oh, it's hard to.
Just turn over here. Yeah, the lighting is better.
Maybe what do you admire in Julie Andrews' interpretation that you want to keep?
I think in terms of my performance, her vocal performance, her voice is just so beautiful. I don't think I'm that similar there. I try to do my own sort of vocal delivery and not copy her too much. But I loved the connection she had with the children. So in terms of that aspect, I try to stay true to the story in that way. It's all about the children, really.
Tell me, how do you fall in love with the captain?
How do I fall in love with the captain? Well, we're very good friends, so it's easy to do that on stage.
As in, at which point of the show are you falling in love with him?
I think.
What do you think?
At which point? I think that Maria finds the captain very endearing from the very beginning, and even though he's quite strict and he's quite a hard man, I think she can see that he's.
Were you fearful of him when you first meet him in the show?
Not fearful, I think just respectful.
Okay. In the movie, I think she fell in love with him during the dance.
I think she realizes she's in love with him in the dance.
Oh. When did
I think she initially finds him very endearing and has a connection with him, but only realizes that it's love when Brigitte points it out to her.
Liesl.
Yes.
I will ask you the same question. What would you bring into the role that might be the same or different from the movie one?
So Liesl in the movie, she was actually the girl who played her was also older. I'm not 16. I'm 24. But I think I really liked her steadfastness, and she was quite cheeky, and I liked to keep an element of that in my own performance. And same as Bethany said, her connection with her brothers and sisters was very real in the movie, and I try and keep that as well, because people know the show and they still want to see an element of what they saw in the movie. And but I do think it's important to bring my own interpretation to Liesl as well.
Well, I've got a question. You work with a different cast of kids in every production, and this production had 3 casts of kids, right? And that little scene that we saw at the beginning of this interview, and you had to kind of like play a kind of authority figure, or even a kind of a mother figure.
Quiet, we are having.
Was it? I get that it must be a challenge to work with a new cast in every show when everything is already so put together, right? Is it?
Yeah, every cast of children brings, they bring their own flavour. So there's, a certain sort of flexibility we need and need to adjust to the new cast of children and make sure that they're comfortable and that the story that they're telling, that we respond correctly to how they decide.
Do you get confused with the 3 casts?
No,
alternate?
not really.
And every child also makes their own decisions in their acting. So we need to be able to be, as Bethany said, one Gretel might say something one way and another Gretel the next might say it a different way, and we need to be able to react differently to them. And we have to be figures of authority. They have to respect us, even though we're working together. Backstage, we have to be, keep quiet, focus, and so it's important for us to do that. And we come in earlier than the rest of the cast. We flew in a week early to be with them and to get to know them, and yeah.
Yeah, I think to act okay, let me say that again. There's a lot of boo-boos. You are in love with what's the name of the boy?
Rolf. Yes.
You really only have one scene to show that you're in love with him. Is that not tough?
That's very true, and I think it's really important that you pointed that out. Is Rolf and Liesl have a very epic journey, but we don't have a lot of stage time, so it is hard. It's that one scene we do before we sing 16 going on 17 is very many beat changes, and that means that a lot happens in that one scene. We go from sort of maybe being interested in each other to kissing at the end of the scene. So that's a lot to do in 10 or 5 minutes. So it's hard.
So how do you bring that in emotionally? Yes, sure. Okay, sure. Liesl. Now we are alone. Rough go.
How do we do that? With the help of an amazing director, Frank, who was from London, who helped us. He helps us find those beats as actors. Okay, now when we say this line, it means this, and that line, that. So every line in a show is incredibly important, and that's why it's not just dialogue for the sake of filling up the space. It's very important. So we as actors have to interpret that in the right way, and it helps to have a good director.
So the love affair is very intense in that period when you actually share the stage with him, right?
Yeah.
That's just that bit, really.
It's young love, It's innocent and it's young, but it's true and it's there. It is intense. And Rolf and I, in real life, we get along very well. I've known him for a very long time, so it's nice to be able to bring that energy onto stage with us, and have that be comfortable, because it's that awkward sort of teenage love.
And you have to play that same intensity towards the end of the movie. When you see him again and you expect him to give you some leeway because of the love affair, and then, was that a difficult scene as well?
When he pulls the gun at me, you mean? Yeah, I mean, it's very difficult to think that someone's on your side and they're not, especially if it comes to something like Nazi Germany. I mean, it's very hard for Liesl to go, where did you come from? Why are you not, a Nazi youth? It's difficult for her to deal with that, but she has to, and it's good because it shows that family comes first. As much as young love is dazzling and amazing, when Rolf turns on her father, she's there for her father. So I love that about her.
Good girl.
Yeah.
Where are you from?
I'm from Johannesburg in South Africa.
Oh, okay. There's quite a number of people from South Africa.
Yeah. The whole cast is from South Africa. Only the children are from Singapore.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Is it? The production is not based in South Africa, though, I think?
The production is from London.
London.
But it was rehearsed in South Africa by us. The London directors came over and rehearsed with us.
Why did they decide to do it there?
There's a big market for theatre in South Africa. We do all the big musicals there.
Oh, tell us a bit about it.
We've done a lot. Jersey Boys, Dreamgirls, Mamma Mia, High School Musical, Footloose.
Are there like quite a few productions going on at the same time?
There's usually about 2 big ones happening at the same time.
So this production is not the initial production, right? The cast is not the original cast from London.
No.
So it's reproduced in South Africa specifically for touring purposes.
Yes. For South Africa, for the market there, and then for touring, We tour usually to Asia, and like the people in London will tour Europe.
Okay, so thank you very much for the review.
Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you
very much.